I learned a stage trick from Paul Anka that I want to teach you right at the start today. How many incoming presidents? Raise your hand if you're going to be president of your club. Fabulous. I know there's some incoming governors in the room. Some of you are president right now. I want to show you a trick that Paul Anka uses to great effect, and you can use it yourself in your club environments. Would you like to see it? Yeah. Okay, so Paul Anka would give an announcement about something, or finish a song, for example. He finished singing My Way. And then this really cool thing he would do, he'd put his hands on his hips like this, and he would melt the applause. You know, like... And then sometimes he would blow a kiss to the audience and go... And I thought, that's fabulous, man. You know, because if you're lucky to get what we call in the business an applause break, you don't want to step on your own applause, right? So you let it play out. It's a beautiful thing. Every good speaker knows to use this trick. So I'm thinking I was here to see Paul Anka, and then across the sign, the band Chicago flashes. How many of you have seen the band Chicago? My favorite band of all time, my first concert ever, and I saw them at a place called Olympia Stadium. Wow. 1,000 years ago, man. I've seen them a million times since then. But this is how the brain works. And since the ballet line was extraordinary, I had a chance, I went back in time, and I'm thinking about all my friends in 6400. And I was talking with Larry Wright this morning about how Rotary, Larry said something about, well, that started your Rotary life, you know, when you met, or not when I got introduced to Rotary. And I said, Larry, it started my life when I joined Rotary. Because I was adrift, man. I was a wild bachelor, man. I had no mooring ropes at all, you know, when Rotary came into my life. And I wanted to thank the people in the room that were there for me. And I had to order them because there's so many. But this is kind of a fun little thing back in time. So this is how cool Rotary is. The first person I met in this room, I didn't even know he was in Rotary. It was Noel Jackson. And Noel Jackson was a benefactor for my band back in the day, the Caruso Brothers Band, and they're still on videos on YouTube with Michael with big hair. And Noel Jackson was supportive when nobody else believed in us, and I thank you so much for that, man. You are a really, really good person and a terrible dancer. And then I met a guy named Bob Gallagher. And how I met Bob Gallagher is a very interesting story, because back in the day, I knew a guy named Ed Clementi at the Southwest Chamber of Commerce, and he said, well, you like people, you like to travel, you should answer this ad. And there was an ad in the newspaper by an organization called Rotary. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Rotary was offering a trip to South Africa. They called it a group study exchange. It doesn't exist anymore. We now call it the VTT. And so what happened was I decided I was going to apply for this thing, and I went to a retreat at, of all places, what's it, not a monastery, what's it called, Bob? At the U of D. It's like a priest, seminary, that's what it is, seminary. And, you know, under what condition would I be at a seminary? Never! You know, here I am at a seminary with a bunch of people I don't know, planning to go on a 5-week trip to another continent. And get this, to go on the trip you could not be a Rotarian. So Rotary wasn't even on my radar except this trip thing, right? And I met Bob Gallagher, who was on the committee. Bob Gallagher introduced me to Larry Wright, the first district governor I ever met, back 1,000 years ago. Remember that, Larry, when we were young and charming? Larry is still young and charming, he's still charming. And then I met Mike McCullough, who is this thing called the Rotary Director. I think I met him before he was a director, now he's a past director. He's like royalty. For those of you who don't know, there's only like 16 or 17 directors in the Rotary world at any given time. It's a huge position. And then, of course, I met Jennifer and all these other great, cool people in Rotary that have made my life so special. And here's this special surprise, everybody. I attended elementary school in Trenton, Michigan. Richard C. Headkey Elementary School. And for decades, I didn't know that Dick Henke was a past president of Rotary International. And that's how this whole Rotary thing is. It's a strand of DNA that pulls itself through your life in wonderful ways. And that's why I'm so glad to be back. I actually pledged into Rotary in your district in the great Rotary Club of Southgate, Michigan. Where's Steve Alice? In the room today in the back. And then life changed. I ended up at 6380, but I have so many friends here, and it's such a pleasure to be back. Flash forward now. I run a consulting company that I started around the time I joined Rotary. Remember, it wasn't the start of my Rotary life, it was the start of my life. And I teach presentation skills all over the world. I spend a ton of time with leadership teams, sales teams, customer service teams, and speak all over the place. We just got back from Lebanon. Much of the work is for Rotary, by the way. I never charge Rotary for talks, and it's my favorite give back. I just love giving back to the organization that I love so much. It's such a place to be back. I don't know how many of you have ever had a chance to visit Lebanon. It is a wonderful country. People think it's an unstable part of the world. But the people there are beautiful. And we find this. I love the video I've gone on Kim. And I love what you're doing with the children of the dump. And when we go to these places, we think when we're about to go, oh my gosh, what have I signed up for? I do not want to go to a third world country and get infected with something. You know, bad stuff's going to happen. And yeah, we saw guns in Lebanon. And you see guns in Guatemala. And you see guns in Cuba. And a lot of times those guns are there to protect you, right? And if you're just careful and you pay attention to the basic travel guidelines, everything's just going to be fine. My biggest problem in Lebanon was they don't start eating dinner until 10 o'clock at night. Oh, that, and they have to kiss everybody 3 times. I went to a dinner party, there were 60 people there. It took all night to say hello and goodbye. So I love Jose talking yesterday about actually Jeremy took the lead with business. He was talking about business and ROI, return on investment. And Jose referenced one of my favorite past presidents of Rotary International, Robbie Bravinton. Robbie says we need to run Rotary like a business. Forever I've been saying we need to run Rotary clubs more like a business and less like a hobby. All in favor say aye. Aye. And we don't, for various reasons, you know. Because here's the thing, everybody. Busyness is not the same as business, right? The hummingbird flaps its wings 70 times per second. But it's not a terribly productive bird. Yeah, it can hover in midair. Big deal. It's no more effective or productive than any other bird on the planet, right? And I don't know about you, but if I do something, I want to see some efficiency. I want to see some economy of scale. I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every year for the president's dinner. You with me? And yet we do. Because we work in a volunteer organization. We've got all these reasons for it that we try to explain it to ourselves. But let me tell you something. Membership, E-rate, every Rotarian every year, does not happen by itself. It would be great if we just got up in the morning, went to lunch on Wednesday, and our Rotary clubs grew like wild dandelions. But it does not work like that, ladies and gentlemen. And why not? Because we are our own worst enemies. Back a while ago, a doctor by the name of Daniel Kahneman wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. And in that book, he laid out what are now known as the cognitive biases. You can Google them up. There are about 150 of them. And behavioral psychologists tell us that when we get in our own way a lot as human beings, our own thinking keeps us from achieving the goals that are most important to us. Cognitive biases. Check them out. I'm going to share 3 of them with you right now. First one is this thing called optimism bias. So I'll talk to all the new presidents. The president's coming in next year. Optimism bias works like this. As incoming president, you are so sure that you could phone this in that you feel you don't even have to plan ahead. You got this. Oops. That's called optimism bias. Pessimism bias is the exact opposite. As incoming president, you are so scared out of your wits, and your club has been down for so long, nobody can save this club. I'm not even going to try. That's called pessimism bias. And then the third is my favorite. It's called blind spot bias. Blind spot bias works like this. I'll give you an example from my business, the consulting business. A business owner will call me ostensibly because he likes what he sees on the internet or he heard something good about me, and invite me in for a chat. In the chat, he says, we've got problems with this, this, and this. And he says, I'd like to know if you can help us. I say, well, first of all, I've got to do a little bit of research. I've got to determine scope of work, and then I can quote you a fee, and then we can make a decision about whether or not we might be a good fit and we can help each other. Does that sound good? He says, yes. So I spent 3 or 4 weeks getting to know the company, doing competitive analysis, figuring things out, interviewing people at the company, interviewing people who have left the company, and I sit down with him for a meeting. And I say, here's what I've learned. I've learned this, 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 and this, I say to him. And I say, here's the scope of work, here's how long it's going to take me to fix it, and here's how much it's going to cost. And guess what? I will work until it's done. I don't work on the clock. I work until it's done. I'm solutions-based. I don't aim at the target. I aim at the bullseye, ladies and gentlemen. And then I tell him what I think his biggest problem is. And half of the consultant, or the people I sit down with this consultant, I'll say, this is what you need to do. And the guy says, well, that's very interesting. And he says, I don't see it. And I say, of course you don't see it. It's your company. If you don't mind me saying so, sir, it's hard to see the forest through the trees if it's your company. But I promise you this is the problem. And I promise you we're going to get what Seth Godin calls fast feedback loops that prove to you I'm right. Well, I don't get every gig that I apply for. And I often get a phone call after the fact or an email 6 months later. I got one the other day, it was 6 years later. And the guy goes, you were right. We should have addressed that when you and I talked. I'm not always right. But I do know this. All of us suffer from blind spot bias. All of us don't know what we don't know. Do you understand this? Now, there are antidotes to this. And again, back to psychology. Behavioral psychologists call one of the antidotes a naked look in the mirror. I was just talking with Michael Angelo about this. I believe we have a graphic. The naked look in the mirror works like this. You decide you're finally fed up with how you look and how you feel. You're going to do something about it. You take off all of your clothes. You stand in a full-length mirror. And you do a Paul Anka. And where do your eyes go first? All the rough spots, right? Oh, I don't like that. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Oh my gosh, this is hopeless. Pessimism bias kicks in. Before you know it, you get dressed and go have a nacho. Naked look in the mirror is hard. To do it with your club's even harder because you won't agree on the bad spots. You sit down with the brain trust of the club. The presidents-elect that are here today are going to go back full of energy and ideas and strategies that they got at the district conference. And guess what? The first thing that's going to happen? You're going to meet with your club, and all the people are going to say, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. We're not doing it. You got to work through your own club members to try the new ideas that you were tested and successful at district conference. It's bizarre, but true. Here are 3 ways that you can improve your situation when you get back. First, regarding membership, is that I think sometimes we're so enchanted with the magic of Rotary that we can't stop yapping about how great we are. Even to new members, even to prospective members. Oh, we're great. You should check out our Ghana project. You should travel with us. You should come to this, or you should meet so-and-so, right? And we never actually talk to them about them. Ladies and gentlemen, be interested and then be interesting. Everybody wanted to meet my dad. Some of you know my dad, Michael Caruso. He's passed now. But Trenton in particular knew my dad. Kyle Stack, are you in the room? Kyle knew my dad. Hi, Kyle. And my dad, everybody loved to meet my dad. The reason they loved to meet my dad is because, we asked my dad about this one time, and he said, well, because I try to help people feel good about themselves. So when you're meeting people, hang back on trying to make them feel good about Rotary, and start by making them feel good about themselves. You see, everybody wants to hang around with people like that. Then you can go to work on the Rotary piece. So that's the membership tip. Let's talk about retention. We need to fix the value proposition of our most important product, which is the club experience. We need to take a naked look in the mirror and ask ourselves this question. would I join my club if I didn't already belong? You almost have to get outside yourself to do this, right? Because you remember that. I'm in. I'm not going anywhere. But I have to get, sometimes we do this with Troy Rotary up at 6380. We say, would we go to this event if we didn't have to? Wouldn't you agree we need more events we want to go to and fewer events that we feel like we have to go to? That would be cool. And then number 3, systems, ladies and gentlemen. A working system that won't let us down. Like collecting emails at every event that we have and putting them in the Friends of Rotary section of Club Runner. And DACDP has a similar setup, by the way. You can put emails in of people who are about to come into the Rotary funnel. And you keep in touch with them. And they can still donate money. They can still come to your wine tasting, even if they're not Rotarians, on their way into the club. That's pretty cool. Also, Facebook. President Renee, sitting president of the Troy Rotary Club, wave to everybody, Renee, had a goal this year of X number of Facebook likes on our Facebook page, because she's smart enough to know that you don't have to be in Troy Rotary to like what Troy Rotary's got going. And so she's going to pull you in, right, with her magnetism, with her leadership skills, with her beautiful smile, with her caring posts about other people. And she's done a remarkable job. So when you have bullseye goals instead of target goals, everything gets better. We're not open-minded stuff, everybody. I'm on the circuit, with Rotary, and I've been in the room recently with John Hugo, which is his title's recently changed. He's now CEO of Rotary International. I've been on the road with Mark Maloney, President-elect Mark Maloney. I've been on the road with all these people at the top of our organization. And the statistics will make you sit and just say, how is this happening to the greatest service organization in the world? Where my zone, our zone, has fallen beneath a population that is forcing our eye, according to bylaws, to rezone our territory. That Rotary, that North American membership is now at 30% of Rotary International. First time in history it's been that low. So let's look at these numbers, let's look at statistics, let's get some systems in place, and let's face it, we are not open-ended. Funny joke. Keith Richards is on a talk show, and he's about to tell the joke to Jay Leno or somebody. I don't remember who it was, but I remember this forever. And I'm thinking, how can they even air this because it's a Keith Richards joke? Keith Richards says, a guy goes to the doctor and sits with the doctor. He says, I don't know, doc, I just haven't been feeling right. I wanted to get in. Better safe than sorry. Let's get it checked out. And the doctor says, great, we're going to run some tests. We're going to do this, 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 and this. I'm going to step out, and I won't come back until I have the test results. So the doctor leaves the room, and he's gone for a good long time. The guy's getting a little anxious now. He's checking his watch, nervous. Texts his wife, so with the doctor. Finally, there's a knock on the door. The doctor walks back in, and he does not look happy. The guy says, oh my gosh, he says, give it to me straight, doc. I haven't been to see you in so long. I probably should be coming every year. How bad is it? And the doctor says, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. You've got 10. The guy said, oh my gosh, 10. He says, oh my gosh, I knew I should have been coming for my physical every year. I knew I should be better taking care of myself. I got to start eating right now. He said, I promise I'm going to get this together. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. 10 what? 10 what? 10 years? 10 months? 10 weeks? The doctor says, 9. We're not open-ended on fixing your club stuff, your district stuff, our zone stuff, Rotary International. This is the greatest service organization, not just now, but in the history of the world. Ladies and gentlemen. And it just blows my mind that we can't convey the value proposition in a way that gets people to stick and stay in our clubs. We can get them to join. You know the numbers. But we need to do a better job with the value proposition at the club level. Here are a couple things that we're doing about this. I started a Facebook page called Get the Word Out Rotary. I'm not sure you can get the Wi-Fi in here, but you can sign up for it right now if you want. Get the Word Out Rotary. We are sharing high-end strategies for gaining members to your club, raising more money, and staying a vital organization. All in favor say aye. Aye. Get the word out, Rotary. You must be enrolled into the group, and when you get into this group, do not start posting your chicken dinners. Because I'll give you a hard time. If you say we had a great fundraiser last week, I'll say, what's great mean? You'll say, well, we raised a lot of money. I'll say, how much? You'll tell me $10,000. I'll type that, gross or net. And I want to know how you did it. And if it's not exceptional, I don't want it on the page. We've got to stop copying average. Would you agree? Yeah. So let's get going on the good stuff and get it going. So that's the first thing. By the way, for you incoming presidents, I have another page. It's free. It's called Present Like a Pro. And we're sharing high-end strategies for motivating groups of people, right? So these are easy ways that you can get good content coming into your life. Now, I have the good fortune of succeeding your Liz Smith as Rotary Public Image Chair. She's done a fantastic job. Yeah. And because we want public image to be present at all events, I thought I would give you a little bit of public image before we wrap up today. Public image meaning this idea of 3 things that you can do to improve public image in your club and in your district. So let's get going. Number 1, forget about all the themes. I know we have district themes, conference themes, we have presidential themes, all this stuff. I want you to focus on one thing, and that is hashtag PeopleOfAction. That's the number 1 campaign that we're pushing out now, right? Hashtag POA. What is it? People of Action. People of Action. And that leads us to tip number 2, higher quality photos. You've got to stop posting photos of Rotarians sitting on their asses. I'm not kidding. We have a good attendance. We have 81 first-timers here. If you take a photo from this side of the room to this side of the room, it's pretty. It's got blue lights. A lot of people here, right? I will not post that photo. We are people of action now. And that means we want to see shiny, happy faces of Rotarians. We have a deal? Deal. Okay. And then tip number 3, I want you to Facebook with purpose. I don't want you to post on Facebook on behalf of Rotary without trying to get 10 pieces of engagement. What's engagement? A like, a share, an emoticon, a comment, right? And by the way, they're not all worth equal points. So that's what we're after. My time is up. I want to tell you as we move forward, you try new things, you're going to be making some mistakes. You okay with that? Yeah. Governor Paul tried some new things on this district conference. I don't know if everything went according to plan, but I do know he got some pushback from people in this room. That's healthy. Let me set you straight on this. If you're going to try new stuff, you are going to make mistakes. You know why? Because behavioral psychologists remind all of us that we are deeply flawed individuals. Have a nice day. So we are deeply flawed and we are awesome. We are flossing, everybody. Thanks for all you do for the greatest service organization in the history of the world.